watch this. Why you wouldn't survive the Roman Empire? Nah, I'll survive. I'll probably become the emperor or something. Okay, boom. Start. Olive
What do you
Garden.
mean you're out of breadsticks? Freshly grated Parmesan, sir. Oh, yes, please. Very good, sir. Just say when. Alright, but it's gonna be a while. Oh, no, 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 no! Here we go again with the witch and such. You really should have taken better precautionary measures. Oh well, this time you're being lobbed into ancient Rome, a civilization that, apparently, is always on the mind of any male over the age of 20. But for you, you'll get to live it, or at least try to. Let's see what you're capable of, shall we? You arrive in the year 250, right in the middle of the ominously named crisis of the 3rd century.
Oh, so the worst period ever. Nice.
Tumultuous time of terrible turmoil, which began a while back in 235 after Emperor Severus Alexander was assassinated. Classic Roman emperor move. After being confronted by Germanic invaders, he, with some influence from his mother, came to the conclusion that violence was not the answer. Instead, he would pay off the invaders to frig off back home. What a great idea, Severus thought. It was not. In response, Emperor Alexander's most trusted military generals didn't appreciate seeing potential funding go to would-be invaders. So, they made a direct deposit of a knife into the emperor's neck.
Ooh.
With interest. With him out of the way, the Roman Empire kind
reasonable
of fell on
crash
hard
out.
times, as empires tend to do when their emperors are killed off. New emperors were coming and going like one-night stands, the military became fractured and weakened thanks to countless civil wars and a struggle for power, and divided empire states took their chances at yoinking some lesser protected land for themselves. All really chaotic stuff, but we'll get to that later. Anyway, here you are, smack dab in the middle of Rome. Actually, you've landed in the Amphitheatrum Flavium, but you might know it as the Colosseum.
Oh no.
Of spectacle where performances like dramatic theater,
So you're gonna get
gladiator battles, and
ready
prisoner
to pieces.
execution, among other things, took place across hundreds of years. But thanks to defunding and failed upkeep because, yeah, the empire's in crisis mode, events were a lot more rare in the Colosseum during these times. So you're probably good to just leave and... Oh, that's a big guy. You can tell by how
Uh-oh.
big he is. Just look at those muscle veins, the chest hair. The
Oh,
menacing
whoa.
Terrible.
What?
Let's see what he has to stare.
What is this? Hey,
The menacing look. Huh, terrifying. Let's see what he has to say.
very bushy.
I don't know what you just said. Oh yeah. Okay.
I would win.
All right.
Oh,
Let's
sponsor, really? Really, dude.
Precise.
Skip. We don't want to watch your sponsor, dude.
Decent fight with a pretty decent loot drop. But now
Seriously,
we
a
have to shift from fantasy
sponsor?
to reality. The struggles of ancient Rome were very real. Disease, poverty, and constant war were a daily concern. Do you think you can handle a day-to-day life during one of the most difficult and dangerous times of the Roman Empire?
Yes.
Not like that, you aren't. You have to remember that that witch interrupted your spaghetti dinner, so you're gonna need to find some food. Traditionally, the Roman diet consisted of a variety of fruits, vegetables, grains, and meats. But you're in the middle of a crisis.
Actually,
which
really
includes
healthy.
Agriculture. This means that food supply is on the fritz.
That's decent.
Some farms have too little water. Some farms have too much water. This is too much water! Even fewer have it just right. So food's getting a little scarce. Thanks to widespread civil wars across the empire, many regions have also had their trade routes disrupted. So what little food choices you have are restricted to your immediate area. This of course led to mass malnutrition across the empire. Well, mainly for the poor anyway. Thankfully, the capital of the Roman Empire is able to provide some basic sustenance. for a price. So what's on the menu? As for vegetables, you have some choice of greens: parsley, peppers, cabbages and celery, asparagus and watercress and artichokes and lettuce, which is alright for just a quick bite, but
That's really
your tummy
good,
needs better
dude.
food to set you right. Maybe a fig, or maybe some dates, some apples or cherries or peaches or grapes. Breads for sure, there's some here to eat, just don't get your hopes up if you're looking for some meat. Weather and war have fucked up the supply, so these are pretty much all your choices, my guy. Beggars can't be choosers, but I beg you to choose. Survival is the game that you don't want to lose. And if you're looking for a drink to imbibe, have some watered down wine. You should also subscribe. Sorry, got lost in the rhyme
No.
scheme there.
No, thank
Anyway,
you.
time to make a purchase. Luckily, you have some gold from your previous altercation, and it's plenty to get you by for now, but it doesn't buy what it used to. See, the emperors, in all of their untold wisdom, needed money in the coffers to pay off incredible debts from beefing up the military and keeping peace with foreign entities. In order to do that, they chose to, among other things, devalue the currency by minting coins with lesser and lesser composition of precious metals. This inevitably caused rapid inflation, which is disturbing from both an economic and a fetish standpoint.
Oh,
Hey son, you watching
what?
more of them funny history videos? Go to your room. Since you have the cash monies, time to consume some nutrients. Problem is, you're an outsider, and unless you're fluent in the dead language of Latin, you're in a pickle. But you try to communicate with what little knowledge you have of the Latin language. Wingardium Leviosa? Well, that didn't work. You go up to the next vendor and instead just point to what you want. Why speak when your money can do the talking? Nimis pecunium. Yeah, thanks, you too. Alright, now you... Oh no. Your body isn't used to consuming all that ancient food. Looks like you need to go do some business. In a bit of a sweaty, stinky panic, you manage to find a public restroom. Ugh, it reeks in here. Don't these people have any sense of...
Hygiene.
Welcome to the Forica, also known as the community turlet. Several holes carved into long cold...
Did they have toilet paper back then? I don't think they did.
marble slabs, perfect for...
So you just... Wait a minute. You just sit there and take a shit in front of other people? What? So no privacy at all. What the hell?
slamming your ass on and expelling your evils. Usually hooked up to a public bath, excess bath water would run along the
Ew, that would be disgusting. Public bath.
Public sewer system. If you were lucky enough to have it actually attached to one. Sure, you could be like them rich folk with their own private bathrooms, but you're not. So instead, you have to make bears with the bros, and you're gonna have to get real friendly, cause as you may have observed, there's no toilet papyrus to speak of. No, instead, you're gonna have to ask Claudius here to share the community wiping tool.
What? Ew!
It's just a sea sponge on a stick.
So everybody shares one sponge? That's disgusting. What the hell, dude?
Once you've done cleaning your nethers, be sure to rinse it off in the shallow trough and
Oh, rinsing it off will not do anything, dude.
you for the next guy.
That's still
Being a public
disgusting.
bathroom and all, you could expect that these places were not the cleanest. You'd be correct. Excessive buildup of waste not only led to widespread disease, but also dangerous levels of methane. Ugh, Claudius, light a match, dude. Let's try the bath instead. Public baths in the Roman Empire, called thermae, were actually pretty sweet. Available to anyone who wanted a nice refreshing dunk, these bathing complexes were a social gathering spot. They included exercise areas, steam rooms, and sometimes even libraries when you want to read a soggy book. Problem is, you're in a stagnant bath that doesn't get cleaned all that often, and hundreds of Romans use these baths every day, not to mention the fact that there isn't a bar of soap in sight. Romans didn't have soap. Instead, cleaning was done with this monstrosity, the strigil, a bronze tool used to scrape off the days or weeks' grit and grime. Just be a little cautious when using it. In order to smell nice, Romans would apply scented olive oil.
So they use a knife
to
to clean themselves? That's wild.
Up, so watch your step. With all of that muck just soaking in the water, it's debatable how clean you actually got. Oh, looks like all the Christians are moving in and telling everyone to cover up. What losers. Anyway, let's shimmy on down the road. Just keep your eyes to the skies for any other citizens who are emptying their festering chamber pots into the street. It's gonna be raining cats and logs. Oh yeah, you're definitely gonna be catching some sort of
disease.
I'm sure you won't be surprised to learn that an overcrowded and filthy city tends to be riddled with disease. Just look at modern LA. When it came to ancient Rome, the most common diseases were influenza and tuberculosis, as well as some STDs, but you're a good person who's waiting for marriage or proper emotional or monetary compensation before you explore that route, right? Right, so despite these common diseases, Rome would often be smacked in the face with various plagues. The term plague here meaning big, bad, unknown disease that killed a lot of people. They were plagues, just not the plague. This one is the Plague of Cyprian, named so after the Bishop Cyprian who wrote about the plague in fine detail, especially the symptoms. He wrote that the plague caused exhaustive diarrhea, a swollen and sore throat, constant vomiting, bloodshot eyes, loss of infected and putrefied limbs, paralysis, deafness, and blindness. All of these
Oh my
symptoms
god,
added
that's
to
horrible.
one dead fella. Because of the bizarre symptoms, which don't point to any one known disease in particular,
Horrible way to
historians
die.
are still unsure what this plague actually was, but some suspect either the Ebola virus or smallpox. Regardless, the Plague of Cyprian devastated the Roman Empire. At its height, the plague was estimated to be killing off about 5,000 Romans a day. This crushed the Roman military, opening up opportunities for possible invasions, which of course would crush the Roman military even more. Local farms were abandoned, and since trade routes were still cut off due to internal clashes, famine became the new hot commodity. Entire cities saw rapid declines in population, the most notable being the city of Alexandria, Egypt. It sustained a 62% drop in population between the years of 249 and 262. This was caused by citizens either fleeing or dying, or both. So it looks like tons of people are leaving Rome. This can't be good. You're also down to your last few gold oh, yeah. Crime's a thing. Oh well, I'm sure that guy will get what's coming to him. Stop! Well, now you're just straight up out of money. Looks like you need to get a job. And you know what's hiring the most right now? The military. So you go up to a local guard and you ask them to join. I join as militum? Yeah, sure. Success!
Oh, the military.
The guard gives you a quick once-over to make sure that you're cut
Too
out for
short.
the job. In order to join the ranks of the Roman military, you needed to meet some criteria. You must have been at least 5'7", between the ages of 17 and 23, and physically
5'7". It's fine. It's not a very high requirement. 17, 23.
fit.
And swole, so you need to be buff.
Yeah, and a guy. Sorry, ladies, you're not allowed to die for the Empire, just with it. Welcome to the military. Now, when you imagine a Roman soldier, you might think of this kind of a guy. This is a centurion, a highly trained and high-ranking commander, which is something that you'll never be. Instead, your aspiration should be lower to that of a typical foot soldier. Sure, it's not as glorious, but these were the muscle of the Roman.
So basically, an NPC. This guy looks like an NPC, dude.
Sure, it's not as glorious.
The most you can
but these were
become
the
is an
muscle of the Roman
NPC.
military. After months and months of rigorous and extremely taxing training, including combat and unit formation, you've been given the privilege of being javelin fodder for the Roman Empire. Here's your complimentary gear, generously provided by the taxpayers. Your primary weapon is your trusty gladius, a 24-inch steel short sword. Your secondary is your pugio, a wide flat-bladed dagger for when you want to remind your enemies of personal space. You're also given a pilum, a pretty sweet javelin, and it does this. Pretty neat, huh? It was kind of designed to be a one-and-done type weapon, used to pierce enemy armor or get stuck in their shields, rendering them useless. Typically, a pilum weighed about 2 to 5 pounds, so they were pretty easy to lob at the enemy. As for armor, foot soldiers in the 3rd century typically wore lorica hamata, a bronze and iron chainmail shirt which offered great protection against slashes and cuts, just not so much against the stabbing. In addition, you were given a scutum, slashes and cuts, just
What about the hands? What if someone slashes your hand? Or here, your neck? You're dead.
not so much against the stabbing. In addition, you were given a scutum, a large wooden round shield for protection against projectiles and parrying the enemy so you can scoot them back. You also have to protect your dome, so make sure you grab a helmet. In addition to protecting your melon, these also protected the back of your neck as well as your precious cheeks with tieable cheek guards. Now, you're ready to fight. Time to head west to the front lines. Since it's the year 250, the Roman Empire faces a terrifying foe. The Goths. Truly barbaric people that have the gall to invade.
Oh
the Roman
no,
Empire.
the
For sake of
gods,
brevity,
guys.
They hate you because they ain't you. So their goal is to take everything you have, just as long as they're back in time for their moms to pick them up from the mall. You spot one of their many headquarters in the distance, but you'll never break through their front line unless you're able to build up enough speed. But how? There! Can you do this? Yes, you have to. For the Empire. You carefully position yourself, you turn around, and... Oops, wrong angle.
What?
Just say when's,
That was fun.